Misfits might try to play a bit harder topside this game, because I feel like Hirit got really pressured by Adam in the 1v1 last time, and I think they need to help him a bit to alleviate some pressure. So I think Misfits should try to help their Camile early and then just try to defend Fnatic from just going ham on bot side.
Personally, I think it's going to be Armageddon in the bot lane. I think that there's going to be TPs flying, there's going to be roams everywhere. It's just going to be absolute chaos, and both sides are going to be looking to try and get advantages in the 2 versus 2 in the bot lane. So it's going to be a bloodbath. That's what I very much expect. And of course, the winner of this will take match point.
Absolutely. It is a battle for match point and to stay alive in this season for Misfits or for Fnatic. Interesting drafts evolving once again, but we'll see what happens in Game 3. The teams are ready on the Rift, so let's head over to Game 3 between Misfits
Summoner's Rift is Fnatic and Misfits are at 1-1 in the series. I love already how Misfits have been able to adapt, and they've thrown the gauntlet down, looked Fnatic in the eyes and said, right, we are going to be happy to team fight you, we're going to be happy to brawl, and they were able to do so successfully in the previous game.
They definitely were, but now you don't have that extended team fight. Now you have the Engager and the Leona instead, where it's just about this raw power, but make no mistake, as you said yourself, still very much about the team fighting.
Yeah, it really is, and I think peering behind the curtain a little bit, the Seraphine pick as somewhat of an answer or a tool into not only the difficult bot lane of upset Hylissang, but also towards Fnatic as a team. And now this time round, the Ezreal Leona into Xayah Rakan. I am quietly hopeful that Kobee and Vander are feeling a bit confident and maybe want to try to look for some kills.
That's the thing, because straight up in this 2v2, not only if we take a look at the summoner spells, just Offset had cleanse once again, so they don't have that extra heal, but at the same time, Leona is to support the Fest very well into Rakan, very good at shutting down all this mobility that usually comes out from this champion.
Yeah, Upset has had a relatively easy laning phase for the 2 previous games. Some support from the rest of the squad, but also matchups that allowed him to pick up significant advantages. For the 3rd game in a row, we'll see the Reketon into Camile matchup. And it feels a little bit like deja vu here. But I think the most interesting thing that I do want to get your take on, Gulborg, is Bwipo running that Trundle. Taking a look at starting on the top half of the map, making his way down bottom. The analyst desk was saying the bottom lane is going to be a bloodbath. And of course, there's the potential for Bwipo to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, with the junglers that got removed from the draft, I just think in general, it's a really solid choice. And then as soon as they saw Vander 4th pick the Leona, I mean, Trundle is just a no-brainer then, because if you want to play towards this bottom side of the map, once you get that subjugate going for you, it's actually super easy to die for. Even though she's got the Aftershock, even though she's got the W, you'll just remove those resistances.
And of course, make yourself even beefier in the process. Bwipo will have the support here of Hylissang once again. The bottom lane able to push forward, Leona being melee into the Xayah and Rakan. Razort will pick up the Gromp, get jumped on, Vander arrives, Flash is still available and forced out, dashed backwards, Upset will join Fnatic and they bully Razort out of his jungle.
Yeah, I was actually super interested to see that Razort started towards the top side of the map as well. I thought they'd be playing up towards Hirit, but obviously Fnatic, having the Xayah Rakan that almost always gets this priority in the early game, it's just super easy for Bwipo to commit to a play like that. So Razort starting top side, a bit of a question mark for me in the beginning.
And of course Fnatic not only reading it, but able to punish it. So deny the blue buff to Razort, they force his flash out early. And every single time we take a glimpse in the top lane, Adam and Hirit are trading back and forth, but there's so many minions to fight into. Adam's going to step forward. He's got that rage bar up. Cole the Meek is used. Flash available to him, and I think this is a tad optimistic, but Nisqy's joining as well. Hook shot, flash for flash. Hirit's able to predict it. The tactical sweep doesn't find the kill, but Razort just about does. He's taken out. The stun from Adam is able to turn it around with the help of the tower, and now Nisqy gets himself a free kill as well. Exceptional play from Adam.
But that is just so greedy as well from the side of Misfits. Adam, as you said, it played that exceptionally well, but TP's coming through in the bottom.
Oh my word, more kills, more fighting, and it's Adam without even full health jumping onto Vander. Upset gets the kill, It's 1,500 gold the lead, and Adam is just everywhere right now.
That is so greedy as well to go for. Your top side just died. You know Adam has that TP. There's minions behind you. And Vander went for that play. So initially, I think it's really good that Razort is up here because Adam is stuck in lane. It's super easy for Hirit to push this one. As soon as you force the flash, get out of here. Razort don't even have flash himself, so as soon as that don't kill him, he's just stuck on the tower. He's so squishy, there's nothing he can do. Nisqy with the priority in mid lane, also up here to join the fight, and Hirit, he's just so low.
That Ruthless Predator feels so bad. But ultimately, Adam gets the kill, gets 2 assists, and is able to support the bottom lane. Manages to push his way back up top, and this minion wave will be pushing towards him. So Adam feeling very, very comfortable in this game.
Yeah, and you know, that was just flashback for me. I've already seen Razort do that once on Sinsao, getting stunned up by a Reketon on the tower. So I guess that's just an unlucky one that is occurring. But back to the resets now to come through because Bwipo haven't actually been back yet. He's got all his bot lane to take care of. So as a jungler, there should be more attention towards the bottom side. As I say this, Adam, he wants attention up in the top side.
There is so much damage coming out. Of course, with that Iron Spike whip into double Dorans here, the shield and the blade, Hirit is significantly underpowered. Adam just using that Renekton kit to full prowess. Now, the same thing happened in the previous game. Adam, well left alone, or when left alone after some support, was bullying and pushing Hirit back, but Misfits were able to find advantages elsewhere on the map. So we need to see how well or where Razort and Vetheo can look to support the rest of their players. Oh man, this is just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it's an Iron Spike whip against a Doran shield and a Doran's blade, and now he did just hit level 6, so he can even threaten a dive if he wanted to. But as you said, hitting the rest of the map can be pivotal from the side of Misfit. The problem is you don't have priority. You're playing with the Ezreal Leona that scales a little bit.
Well, level 6 just secured for Hirit. The passive shield will help somewhat. Adam forced to use the Dominus to escape with his life. He's still trying to take control. And remember, Adam from the LFL with support took over games. Hylissang once again with a fantastic roam. There'll be some damage on the shockwave, and finally Vetheo goes down, but here comes Razort managing to pick up some damage, but the Realm Warp from Nisqy gets Hilly out to safety.
That is just so satisfying to watch from the side of Fnatic. What a nice play set up by Nisqy there, and rooting Vetheo down out of the flash as well. Just insanely well done in the early game from Fnatic, quite frankly.
I mean, 4 kills already, 2,000 gold the lead, and this is a near perfect replication of Game 2, where Fnatic came out the gate swinging, were able to pick up a number of very quick kills, but how Misfits turned it around was through skirmishing and through mechanical excellence in some team fights. But they need to find some time to do this because all of a sudden, Fnatic are pulling even further ahead. Vetheo, no shockwave available. Teleport coming down from Nisqy. Defensive flash from Razort, and it's Bwipo that gets the kill. Manages to chomp down. Now Bwipo taken up by Vetheo and hands over the buffs. Teleport was used there as well. That's 1 back to Misfits.
Yeah, okay, so a 1-for-1 in the end. Not so bad for Misfits after all, but here it's still very low on the tower. Kobee getting flashed on.
He's already flashed away. That's Kobee now. And they're going to be flashless. Upset and Hilly pushing forward, unable to find the kill into the slippery Ezreal.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. That was just 2 flashes from the side of Fnatic, 4 Kobee's flash alone, so very aggressive from the side of Fnatic. But I want to draw the conversation back here, Trevor, because every time there's a play happening, I feel like Hylissang, or the bot lane in general, is out there moving. The early invade, down towards the mid lane as well with Nisqy flashing in. He's just so proactive.
Yeah, he really is. Hylissang's been everywhere this series, helping out multiple lanes, and Fnatic once again on the prowl. Bwipo managed to get himself Kindle Gem as well as that Sheen. Has a small level advantage over Razort. Can hear it, no flash available, but the Hextech Ultimatum is there. Is looking for Adam the tower, turns its attention to Nisqy, and that will be a kill for Razort. Heartbreaker is just used, dashed away to safety, and Fnatic will get 1 back.
Yeah, they get 1 back, so 1-for-1 minion wave crashing up towards the top side, and for Misfits in the mid lane, Vetheo is crashing a lane off himself here, so turns out pretty even, but once again, Fnatic, they are just a team that is first on the objective.
One of the things that I think will be discussed significantly both today and in retro of this series, both teams have thrown themselves into so many skirmishes and fights, and the question I sometimes ask myself is, was it the right call? This time around, numbers advantage and a little bit of an outplay from Razort allows him to get at least 1 kill.
Yeah, I mean, Hirit so close to go down as well. That could have been a 2-for-1 from the side of Fnatic, but in the end, they do get the push-up, they do get the objective, and now we're just back on the map. Seems like they want to response back from the side of Misfit and pick up that first Drake.
I mean, it's such an interesting and very aggressive team fighty series. 9 minutes in, 8 kills on the board, and Fnatic Vitality last weekend had a combined kills per minute of 1, right? So throughout the course of the game, for every minute of gameplay that passed, at least one person died. We're already in this series at 1.02 and not showing any signs of slowing down. Both teams' game plans, Coolborg, is just fight, fight, fight.
And you know what I love about this, Trevor, is the fact that Fnatic has decided to bring this to the top side of the map. In game 1, they heavily forced to get placed down and towards the bottom side of the map, but the adaptation they made after game 2 is now that they need to attack top side. Every time there's priority in the mid lane, Nisqy is hovering up towards the top side of the map. They can leave bot lane alone for themselves. They have a favorable matchup. So this entire early game is just so well dominated by Fnatic due to their adaptability.
Well, it's definitely working out, and of course, something that we knew they could do, because we've seen what Adam has been able to do as a player in the LFL, but as a team, Fnatic had trended towards focusing on that bottom lane. I do want to bring attention just very quickly to those junglers that you were talking about. In terms of like kills plus assists, kill participation, Razort is one of the leading men for Misfits, and traditionally, if he isn't having a strong or an impactful early game, the rest of the team struggles to create their own opportunities. And despite a few small missteps, in the previous game, his Lee Sin had a gigantic impact, was able to lead them to the game victory.
Yeah, but once again, I also feel like Viego is the kind of champion that needs to get played for. When we saw Bwipo play it in the first game, he had Hylissang with him all the time to try and create this jungle support synergy that we so often see. And right now, Razort is a jungler that plays for lanes. He's not the one getting played for.
No, he's not. I think with the Oriana, a little bit of additional potential, but for Misfits, still down. 2,000 gold. They were able to pick up the first dragon, so that is going to be in their back pocket as we're 3 minutes away from the Infernal. If you look at the mini-map, Bwipo's now moving to the southern quadrant of the jungle, slowed down the gameplay just a touch. This is going to be a little bit beneficial here for Misfits, who really did not want the tempo and the pace to continue to run away from them.
Most definitely not, but you can also see right now Fnatic, after having getting out of the map, they don't have too deep aggressive vision, and with no camps up for Razort to them, he could be anywhere on the map, and that's why you see them go so much backwards. Adam right now, not trying to get that first play, but as soon as he spots Razort here, he can be aggressive.
Well, the Pillar of Ice comes out, Razort uses the ultimate to get over the wall, and will escape safely for now. Bwipo with that first chomp, and cutting off their escape path meant that Razort paid him the respect he needed.
And that's the thing, look what this does with the top side. Adam had an even lane. Now that he spots Razort, he starts getting aggressive. He starts going forward.
Well, Hirit is trading back relatively evenly for now, but trading into that Gore Drinker is never going to be fun. And Hirit is maintaining a respectable CS difference for now, considering how much bullying is going on. Hylissang is going to be waiting here in the wings. The shockwave will only catch Nisqy. Quickness is thrown down, and that's an airborne Vetheo. Bwipo picks up the kill. Despite Vander arriving to the fray, he simply cannot stop Fnatic for now. Razort walks away with his life, and here comes Kobee. The tower's down to a couple hundred hit points, and Fnatic not going to push it just yet.
And look at the resources Misfits are spending just to try and help that bottom lane here. Top lane's falling apart, bot lane falling apart, and Fnatic pulling the trigger in mid lane with the Rift Herald with Hylissang behind them. They're just getting so many victories on the map.
And think about this, it started all the way back at level 1, level 2 rather, with that invade onto the blue buff. Bwipo with the support of Hylissang, denying Razort that buff, and now Fnatic between two towers managed to find the route onto Vander. He's still got the flash available to him, and he dashes away for now. Upset, chases. Flash and Auto will find the kill. Realm Warp will just about get Fnatic to safety. They're still inside Misfits jungle, but I don't think Misfits can really chase this one down. 4 members of Fnatic staring at Kobee and Razort. 8 kills to 2. 5,000 gold the lead. They've got themselves a tower and all the plates already, and it is only 13 minutes in.
Can we talk about Trundle Pillar for a second? Because this is an ability that's just like super underwhelming, but if you place that pixel perfect, they get stuck behind it. And that's exactly what Bwipo did just there. That was just so amazing to watch.
Really, really well played here from Fnatic. The early game has gone exactly how they wanted, and we'll be able to see that Pillar of Ice, Pillar of Filth, if you will, once more.
Yeah, look at that. Vander, he's just stuck. He's forced to path backwards because he's right-clicking. His character doesn't allow that, so it's taking an awkward path, and he's forcing way too late. He's flashing way too late after this one. Obviously, with the Realm Warp, it's super easy to get out afterwards. At that, there is no CC that could hit the Ryze.
I mean, Nisqy, 3-0-2 on this Ryze. He's been a fantastic getaway driver. Both fights that have taken place where Fnatic have won, he's used that Realm Warp to safety, and Misfits now in a very, very precarious situation. Gonna lose their second tower most likely. Dragon is up in 3 seconds. There's enough vision for Fnatic to make a play for it, and Misfits now have to buy a lot of time here. Great call from Upset to deny the CS, deny the experience, and push Kobee even further behind.
And not only that, Trevor, it's also due to the fact that Adam, he's just playing with so much restraint up towards the top side of the map. They know the communication is there's no one showing towards the bottom side, so the bot lane must be elsewhere trying to commit to a play. And because of this, Adam doesn't go too over-aggressive. As soon as the bot lane is recalled for Misfits, Upset is doing exactly what you talked about.
Oh, Kobee gets jumped on, gets rooted, and does get charmed. He's able to flash and arcane shift away to safety, and now Vander got the solar flare available to him. Has not pulled the trigger yet. Has Fnatic bitten off more than they can chew. They find themselves a kill onto Vander, but here comes Nisqy. Finds the route down onto Hirit, and that's a dash forward from Adam. He's managed to cut off the retreat from Misfits, and Razort will be the last member. Adam decides not to chase for now, but does Bwipo with a Pillar of Ice. 1, 2, 3 members secured. Diving the inner turret.
It's just so beautifully played from Fnatic when this team fight collapses down. Adam holds on to the W as well so he can flash onto the backline and finish the touches of that fight. And they just get everything from the Drake to the turret to the members and Misfits. It just seems like there's nothing they can do. There's no cross map they can commit to. There's nothing they can get in the mid lane. So Upset and Hylissang, once again the key figures, especially Hylissang, in finding these plays for Fnatic. And then as soon as Bwipo joins, as soon as the pillar is there, Fnatic can just solidify the touches of this with the teleporter come through. And watch this from Adam. Dashes forward with the slice and dice, and then flashes with the W afterwards.
See hero, kill hero, right? Like, Fnatic want to earn all of their objectives after killing whoever is standing in front of them. And they've shown over and over again their willingness to engage and honestly their disregard for almost anything else. I think vision has been relatively good for Fnatic and allowed them the ability to do this with relative safety. And they've got such a gigantic lead this time around. That Rakan is a huge problem for Misfits.
It definitely is, and this is what happens when your solo laners and Misfits are not getting ahead, specifically on this bot lane. Nothing Misfits can play for. They're always pushed in. Mid lane, probably the most even lane they have, but Nisqy is still the one roaming around. And then towards the top side of the map, Hirit can't even lane against this Reketon any longer, who's just a half item ahead of him. And because of this, Fnatic can just commit to these plays because they know that there's no strong side Misfits can commit to after the play has been done.
Man, this is just a beautiful, beautiful start to the third game for Fnatic. Obviously, if they close this out, they're one win away from facing G2 on Sunday. Of course, Misfits and Fnatic, whoever loses this series, will be eliminated from World's contention, be eliminated from playoffs. I feel like Fnatic took that previous loss very personally, Gulborg, because this game, from the very early invade, from every single dive, every single member of Fnatic has pulled that trigger instantly, and they've managed to land every single ability to punish Misfits.
They definitely have, and once again, you know, we were talking about Viego and draft. What about Hylissang?
Rakan, exactly. I mean, look at this. The feathers rooted backwards despite the Hextech ultimatum. Hirit just gets melted underneath his tower. The amount of CC that you have to deal with and get through is impossible. And just a dominant 20 minutes. Baron isn't even up yet. We're a minute and a half away from the next dragon. There's the flash away from Vetheo. Stays alive a few seconds longer. The shockwave only catches Hilly, but there will at least be one kill back here for Misfits, but Vander forced to flash for his life. Kobee arrives late to the party and can't do a whole lot. 10,000 gold down. If you are a Misfits fan, you are hoping for a Baron or an Elder Steal right now because it is Fnatic all game long.
You're not hoping, you're praying, and not only that, for a lot of mistakes from Fnatic's side as well, because they are so far ahead right now. Have we been 20 minutes into the game, that would have been Baron gone then just now. But we're not. They're this far ahead. Opportune inhibitor turret, 18 minutes into the game. And once again, as a group, Fnatic are just finding so many picks, and it's coming from Hylissang's Rakan and the Pillar of Bwipo. This jungle support duo in this series continuously shows up.
And of course, that Rakan was banned away in the previous game. You have to wonder whether it will be this time around. First picked by Fnatic, 0-2-11 for Hilly. And Fnatic looking so good. Well, Misfits, they have shown their ability to teamfight. They have shown that they don't give up. But this is such a difficult scenario to be in. Down in items, down in gold. They've got no presence on the map. Fnatic, look at the wards in that northern quadrant, pushing all the way in. It is just a playground for them. Finally, Misfits look to secure their first tower of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And Misfit right now, there's not much they can do if a team fight is to break out. So what they're trying to look for before Fnatic get them away, was to try and find an isolated target, to try and find a pick, because that's the only way you win this game.
Well, that's going to be the engage onto Nisqy. He used the Realm Warp, taking a lot of damage for now. Buys some time thanks to the Hourglass, but Vetheo shut down before the Shockwave can even come out. Finally, Razort gets himself one back onto Nisqy. Now trying to put the damage onto Hylissang. Not going to be enough to find the kill just yet. And Upset will close it out. Bwipo gets the solo onto Vander, and that is a 1-for-3 to extend the advantage with the Dragon available too.
Yeah, close to being a 4 as well, with Hirit just getting away with the Slippery of Hell there. So now can just pick up the Drake, can start picking up some vision towards the top quadrant that you already talked about before, and start setting up this Baron, because Fnatic, they're just so far ahead that they can allow themselves to skip steps. They could even just start up the Baron and hope Misfits would come to contest and just turn with Hylissang's Rakan.
Man, now of course this is looking very likely to be 2-1 in favor of Fnatic. It is a crushing game so far. Misfits, they had an opportunity to pick up a little bit more, but weren't able to take down Nisqy quickly enough, and then the rest of the reinforcements arrived.
It's a good attempt in the beginning for Misfits as well, because there is not much they can do here. It's just desperation, this plan at this point, and Fnatic, as a group unit, once again, just so damn good at collapsing at any attack that Misfits try to throw out there. So even though that this was engaged by Misfit, or at least they postured for it, it's just Fnatic shutting it down.
And of course, now all of a sudden Fnatic have to just look towards those big objectives. They're one away from Soul Point on the Dragon. Baron is a very viable target to focus. Razort has already stolen himself one Baron this series. We'll need to do a whole lot more. No flash for Hirit. 3 members of Fnatic jumping onto him. Get knocked into the air, and despite the hook shot, we'll just get run down. The 6th kill for Upset. 605, 650 gold bounty that's just jumped up once more. And it's just the quiet carry that can do as he pleases because of everything the rest of the squad is built up.
Exactly, and now they're just going to continue with it. Vander now caught off, no flash.
They're already dead! They're already dead! 25 kills this game in 22 minutes. It is the bloodiest series of the summer playoffs for now, and there does not look to be anyone to contest this Baron. 4 members of Fnatic starting it up. Adam gonna gatekeep for Razort, and that Baron looks to be the safest one yet.
And this is definitely the most dominant we've seen Fnatic in this series as well. Misfit with a new draft coming in, trying to mimic what that made it work beforehand. But I feel like it's, once again, the fact that the bot lane of Fnatic is enabled, the fact that Hylissang gets to move around and create this place makes the game so much harder for Misfits to play when Kobee, Vander continuously pushed on the tower, has been all laning phase, and now the impact of the action that was committed by the bot lane is just showing.
Yeah, and I think it's crucial to call out that this Viego got focused and bullied early on, did not get time to set up any plays, and Razort has played Viego several times this summer, has not been able to pick up a win on it, and hasn't found the impact that, say, Bwipo was able to do. Now Bwipo on the Trundle, 4 levels up over Vander. Solar Flare used that sidestepped by Bwipo, by the way. Subjugate came out and just going to force that away. That's a big team fight tool that's not available now. There's no big objectives really to contest, but Fnatic can do what they please, can go where they want to.
It also becomes so much easier when you have a Ryze, because you just get to navigate the minion waves with your Realm Warp if you want to do that as well. So right now, you can just group together in one lane and then keep Nisqy in the other, and then he can just bound a minion wave to whatever you want to commit to, and that's what they're doing right now. You can see the rest of the members of Fnatic just in the mid lane, while the rest of members, Misfits, collapsing.
They're going for the Hail Mary. Nisqy is going to be able to use the Hourglass to buy some time. Hylissang comes in, interrupts Hirit. Razort going to be able to find a kill onto Hilly, but not more just yet. Dashes away to safety thanks to the engage, rather. And now Hirit hops off the wall. Who else died in the back line? Razort taken out. Adam forcing the rest of Misfits away. Kobee needs to use the flash and the heal just to survive the onslaught. Fnatic are going to be able to hold off the engage, smack Misfits with their wallet, and break open the base.
Yeah, it's just that easy for them right now. And despite a good effort from Misfits there in desperation, they're still losing out on all these plays because, as you said, with the wallet, Fnatic so far ahead with Midfist, they're not done.
No, not just yet. Bwipo will once again be engaged on, subjugate, stealing the stats and the HP. Bwipo is able to walk away. Solar Flare dodged by the Featherstorm. Utsep touches over the wall. The Pillar of Ice holds Hirit in place, and with Nisqy arriving, turns it back around. The Realm Warp continues the fight once again. We're gonna lock down two. Nisqy's not done. The feathers fly, and Upset's looking to kill a few more members of Misfits. But Vetheo and Razort, they're back. They're chasing out Upset, and Adam is coming in from behind. These team fights are never ending, and they never go well for Misfits. The Shockwave pulls Adam backwards, but there's not enough damage from Razort to close it out. 25 kills in 25 minutes. Fnatic are styling on Misfits to go to match points.
They definitely are. Long death timers coming up here. Hirit up in Tendo, and the same is Kobee. So I don't know if they can end on this one just yet, but they do still have Baron, and they do have two minions coming in. But no, Trevor, they decide to prolong it a little longer.
Oh, this is such a statement from Fnatic, and obviously, like, exactly what you anticipate and expect from this Fnatic squad. The chains are unleashed, they are in your face, they are non-stop, and Fnatic want to win the game by consistently starting the skirmishes, by tower diving, by forcing their opponents back.
And they're also attacking the strong side of Misfit. Adam has not been getting a lot of attention in previous series, specifically against Vitality. This time around, he's the receptor of the pressure. And Upset and Hylissang, they're just doing everything they can on their own and still being this far ahead. Fnatic, like this, are looking really scary when they can punish a Camile into Reketon matchup and still have a winning bot lane.
Oh man, so now just gonna close this one out. Of course, 2 inhibitors down, 2 minutes to Baron, 4 minutes to Sol. Fnatic definitely don't need that, but they do not want to throw an advantage to Misfits, despite the 14,000 gold lead. Fnatic will then be 1 win away from facing G2 on Sunday. And of course, 1 win away from eliminating Misfits from playoffs and from Worlds. And for Misfits, they've got to be in their own heads, right? They've got to be thinking, it's actually really difficult. Do they try focus on making that magical comeback, or do you think about the next game? And it's such a difficult question to answer. Of course, the support staff backstage will have to review this draft. We'll have to think about what else they can do. Solar Flare from Vander was used. Vetheo's looking for a target for the Shockwave, and Hylissang will buy some time. Not taken out just yet. Flashes away to safety. Still has the quickness available to him. The super minions just on the steps of Misfits base. So keep your eyes on those minion lines as they conga their way in. Fnatic will then threaten the fights and the engages.
Yeah, Fnatic, they're rushing it a little bit. They're not waiting for the collapse of the minion wave, and in turn, there's more members of Misfits that can be to attack or at least defend the lane up towards the top side of the map. But still, they're so far ahead, Fnatic, and Misfits still looking desperate for a collapse.
While teleports coming in, Fnatic have already peeled out, but they're now split. 3 members on the south, 2 members up north. Vetheo will get the Command Protect to stay alive for now. GA is popped from Adam, but that's enough time for the rest of Fnatic to arrive. And Fnatic agree to back out. Don't overchase, don't overstay your welcome, and instead play for those objectives. They back out safely, and Misfits, they commit the teleport. They don't find anything more but the CS and the experience from those super minions. That is the only silver lining right now for Misfits.
Definitely, there's a lot of resources being poured into you, and right now it seems like Fnatic don't have the ability to put the closing touches on this game just yet. Adam did lose his GA in that exchange as well, because he was very trigger happy and flashed on towards his opponent there, only to be taken out. So Fnatic looking a bit too trigger-happy themselves to wanting to close out this game, but luckily for them, Baron is up on the map now. Now they can start playing towards the map with the Ryze as well, and they still nuke this purple worm.
Yeah, the teleport is available for Nisqy, so he can push in that wave, threaten the Nexus turrets if necessary. Bwipo will fend off the Misfits members for now. Now Baron has been started. Teleport available for Vetheo. He's on the bottom lane. Kobee's making his way from base. The channel is coming in. Quickness thrown out. Is charmed. Is knocked. Is locked. That's a flash away from Vetheo. An upset. Face plants the wall. Man, would that be impactful is the question. Hirit flashes away to safety for himself. And now Bwipo is the target of Kobee and Razort, but he's not going to have enough. Hirit is killed already by Hylissang, the man that started this fight. Engages once more onto Razort, who flashes away to safety. Misfits lose one, but it could have been so much more. Fnatic still peel back for Baron.
That could have been the entire game then. The fact that V2 gets to stay alive is also a hit. A very good silver lining as well in that exchange. Upset, unfortunately, failing the flash over the wall, but now, after the members of Misfits has been pushed off, it's still very easy for them to pick up the Baron and start looking for the end now, finally, for Fnatic.
Yeah, playing this one respectfully, maybe a little bit dangerously for Fnatic, but their lead is gigantic, 15,000. They really wanted to. They could wait the minute and play for the soul as well. And of course, as soon as that one fight got a little hairy inside the base, Fnatic backed out, played for the Baron. Now we'll once again need to knock down those inhibitors. It's 15 seconds for both mid and bottom lane. Misfits will get one more fight at best to stall, but really they will get side selection and be looking to the next game to figure out how do they stop this death ball that Fnatic has put together.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, one of the things has to come with shutting down the bot lane of Fnatic. Because they are just so damn good at creating pressure. And Hylissang, once again, I have to reiterate, such a pivotal power as well in the Rakan. But now, both inhibitors has been taken down. You can move up towards the top side and try to just get the last one, or move down to the Drake and pick up the soul. There's endless possibilities for Fnatic right now.
Yeah, Misfits have tried to find initiations multiple times. Realm Warp is going to deliver the minions to the top inhibitor. Cheeky play here from Nisqy. Force Misfits to do something. Double supers will now start to make their way forward. That's the engage from Hilly. Gets the charm, and this time round Vetheo's killed before he can use that shockwave and have any impact. Razort is trying to find a kill onto Hylissang, but that is the least impactful member now that his initiation is done. Razort down, Vetheo down. 3 members of Misfits left alone, facing Fnatic's 5. Super minions pushing into the base now as well as Hirit gets caught out. Throws out the Hextech ultimatum, and Adam buys enough time with that stopwatch. Hirit will fall in just a moment as Vander makes it back to the steps, and despite the fact that there's so much damage, Adam still stays alive. 29 kills for Fnatic in a one-sided obliteration of Misfits. Fnatic advanced to match point.